looks like we are streaming live, Mr. Swanberg.
Wow, really? Holy
Hello,
smoke.
Facebook.
Hello, Facebook. And hello, this is Christmas week. Welcome to Escrow Tuesdays. Charles Swanberg here with Caimeiju Realty and my co-host there, Narhee Nguyen from Tower Escrow. How you doing, Narhee?
I'm doing awesome.
All right, all ready for Christmas?
Almost.
Almost, huh? Almost. Still waiting for that $40,000 watch you're getting me from Amazon, right?
Yep. On delay.
I will take a Baby Yoda sock. Hi, little Baby Yoda there. Well, where are you?
Oh, the other way.
Okay,
there you go.
Well, we have this week, not just, OREO doesn't simply have chapters in the United States, but we've got a couple in Canada. And we have an amazing guest today. And she is Sedi. Sedi, how are you doing?
Sedi,
hi.
Welcome to Escrow Tuesdays.
Thank you so much. Hi, Charles and Narhee and everyone. Thank you so much for having me your show. I'm doing well.
Well, you are the superstar in Vancouver. So, Sedi, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you said, my name is Sedi, and I have been in Canada since 1988. My background is Iranian. I was in my early 20s when I left the country because of, what's going on in that unstable country, came to Canada, which I feel it's my permanent home. In my understanding, my experience, Canada is the best place to live in.
Really?
In this era. Yes, it's one of the, especially living in Vancouver, it's one of the best cities. And the city of Vancouver, is kind of similar to my hometown city in Iran, because I'm from northern Iran. It's very green and rains a lot. Summer is hot and humid, like for 2 months a year. And Vancouver is kind of similar. That's why when I moved into Vancouver, I felt like this is like home. This is where I belong. Yeah, and then I kind of continued with my post-secondary education here. And
where'd you go? Where did you go?
Oh, I went to UBC. I initially started at Carleton University in Ottawa, and then in 1995, I moved to Vancouver and transferred to UBC. And for a few years, I was in the academia, lots of research, stuff like that. And then about 5 or 6 years ago, I thought I like to have my own business aside from doing research on human rights issues on my own and with some, international and non-profit organizations. Right. I wanted to do something fun, and I always liked the real estate.
Oh my God! Yeah. So Narhee, real estate is fun.
No. Fun.
All right, Narhee, go ahead.
I still find it fun because doing research, you just focus on your writing, and especially dealing with human rights issues, it can be tough. And doing something beside it, it's like real estate. It's been fun, and I don't regret getting my real estate license. And
so you went from human rights essays and research papers and all of that to real estate, huh?
I still do. I still do research on human rights and social justice issues. I work with nonprofit organizations. I get small contracts. So that's kind of something that is my passion. And real estate is my another passion. I wouldn't say second or primary passion, but this is something that I've been doing as well. I find it fun because you meet lots of people, you make people happy by buying or selling their properties.
Yeah, talk about happy. I mean, Vancouver is a pretty happy place. It's incredibly friendly. It's so friendly that it's almost kind of creepy. I was, let me, personal experience, I was there in a total heat wave time. This was like in 2011, the year before the Winter Olympics, which I can't remember what year that was. And it was like
2010, I believe.
Yeah, it was like 100 outside, even in Vancouver, and they were not used to it. But we were at a restaurant, me and a friend were at a restaurant, and we heard about there was going to be some fireworks or some sort of celebration. So we asked the waiter and said, "Hey, do you know where it is?" And he goes, "Oh, just 1 second." And he disappears for about 2-3 minutes. I'm like, oh, comes back with a color printed map with handwritten directions on exactly where it was going to be, where to park, and then invited us to a party afterwards that his buddy was having. I mean, we're just total strangers that showed up at a restaurant, and we're like going, I don't know these people.
Should we go?
Oh, yeah, but we found that everywhere. So it is amazing. So everyone, if you're just joining us on Escrow Tuesdays live here on Facebook, we have Sedi Minachi. So can you describe a little bit more, though, of how you got involved in real estate? Did you one day buy a house and say, I could do that? I mean, what's that story?
Right. Yeah. I bought my own property years ago, and then I always liked different design and visiting, for example, showrooms, even prior to getting my real estate license. And I always was fascinated by people who were involved in this industry. And I was just waiting for an opportunity to get the license and just do as a side thing. But when I got the license and I did some deals, I fell in love with it, and I decided
I fell in love.
I still love this profession. Believe it has its own challenges, but but it's not, it's very rewarding, especially helping people when you hand in their new property keys to them. You see big smile. That really makes me happy.
So you're happily doing real estate. You were a researcher, with so much education, and sounded like you did some nonprofit work in the past and community work. So how did you discover OREO, or did OREO discover you?
So I just want to emphasize that I still do my research. I still do human rights work, social justice work. I'm involved with lots of different community activities. But OREO, I think it was the first year I got my real estate license. I believe in 2015 or 2016, I got a course. I think it's called CIP. And one of the greatest instructors came from US. I think her first name is Carmela. I forgot Carmela's last name. Forgive me. And and then I met a few OREO members during the meeting, and I believe Tina Mack introduced OREO after the course, and immediately I became member of the OREO, and then awesome. The next year I joined the board.
Wow.
And I've been a board member, I believe, since 2017, if I'm not wrong. And then last year an opportunity came up, and I became the president of the chapter in Vancouver. And
just like that, snap your fingers and you're president. So we want to know, Sedi, what was that, OREO Kool-Aid drinking moment? Who said, I imagine it could have been Tina, right? Like, Sedi, you're going to be the next president. I mean, tell us that story. How did you become president? There's only 41 of us, or of you guys, right? As president, out of about 17,000, various, members at one time of OREO. So that's a very small group. So how did that happen?
Well, it was just Tina Mack persuaded me. Aside
Did
from
she trick
Tina,
you?
No.
Okay, all right, okay.
We needed, we kind of our president at the time suddenly had some family issue and resigned. and we needed someone to step forward. And board members at the time, and also Tina Mac approached me and asked me to take this responsibility. Initially, I said no, because I know it's a big responsibility, but especially Tina Mac assured me that this is going to be a team effort. It's not just me instructing people what to do, which I agree, because my approach is always to deal with the team, not just one person decide and everyone else, has to follow up. This team effort, kind of triggered my kind of coming forward. And ever since, it's been over a year that I've been the president, and we've had very good teamwork. We've had lots of activities. People like Tina, for example, she does a lot of work. And we don't have, who decide what. So we just work together. Whoever comes with some ideas, whoever takes an initiative, we discuss, we agree, and we carry that on so far.
Yeah, if you could get your chapter run that way, it's so much easier as a collective family, instead of everyone kind of having their own opinion and voting. Some boards do get decisive.
Yes.
But that's always the much harder to do in practice, right, to get that whole team together. But it's usually because of a great leader. So thank you so much, Sedi, for taking on over. Wow. Well, I can't imagine it's all fun and wonderful and cooperative, right, in this business.
No, it cannot be. There's always the other side, right? With the good and pretty roses, there's always the crazy side, right, Sedi? You care to share?
There could be some challenges. Sometimes, for example, some board members, they want to have less activities, some they want to have more activities. So we kind of have to have the balance, right, to make both sides happy.
Yeah. What about the real estate side?
The real estate side, there are some challenges too.
Yeah, tell us your craziest. Yeah, with an area so friendly, tell us the crazy story you've encountered in a deal. We want to hear what Canadians deal with.
Oh,
right.
Oh my gosh! I as a realtor, I'd rather to be the seller's agent than the buyer's agent. Buyer's agent, you kind of get tricked. You work hard, and then suddenly the buyer disappears. You know what I mean? Even if you get that a signature, asking the buyer to commit herself or himself to work with you, but that's not a guarantee, right? So yeah, I've had buyers approaching me, aspiring, to buy such a property, and I put a lot of effort. We do lots of showing. I even recently, for example, I had even after few months working hard full time, and then wrote an offer, and then suddenly the final stage when the buyer needed to sign, he changed his mind.
Oh, that never happens in the United States.
That never.
Well, I'm just gonna get that. Yeah, that never happens in Sedi. So that is amazing. Wow. I didn't realize deals fall out at the last minute in Vancouver. We're just joking.
Even from the friendliest place.
But you must have had an interesting international client coming in, and you're taking them around all over the place, and you find out they're ultra famous or they disappear on you. I mean, you've got to run into something like that, right? Oh, she's drinking the OREO Kool-Aid. How was that Kool-Aid, Sedi? Yeah, she had to drink a little bit more of that to get that story out. Yeah, okay.
The international buyer, no, I haven't had that experience physically coming here because of the kind of restrictions and border shutdown between US and Canada.
Right.
We'll see, after the shutdown, that's going to happen or not, because I've been working with someone from your California state, and we are just waiting for the border restriction to be
Oh,
removed.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the local buyers, yeah. The craziest one was a few months ago. I had
There you
another
go.
buyer and for a house, and we went, and because of the restrictions, the seller's agent was allowing one at a time, which is
Right.
kind of normal setting in here. And then I was talking with the buyer's wife, and the husband suddenly went close to the steps of the house, and the seller's agent was there. And then I don't know what type of exchange they had. Both sides, they got upset. And then suddenly I heard some shouting, and I asked the seller's agent what's going on. And then the seller's agent said, I'm not going to show, I'm not going to allow you guys to come in and do your showing. Shock I've never had,
Why? Because
especially now it's a buyer's market.
they don't want upset people coming into your house. And I was like, upset
Oh.
buyers. No. Really?
Yeah, kind
And they
of.
could do that? They could say, I'm sorry, we can't let you in. You guys are too upset.
Yeah,
Canadians,
but,
I'm telling you. Too friendly, right? You
so
guys,
yeah, for me to kind of stop the kind of the heat, I kind of respected the seller agents, and we just left. I didn't want to have a conflict or fight or whatever. I just had to stop the escalation, right? So yeah, that's the I don't know, should say shocking moment I've ever had since I've been a realtor. But these things happen. Yeah, I'm sure everyone has some kind of a story to share, but that was the only.
well, we had to work
Yeah.
hard at it, Narhee, to get a crazy story out of
I
it.
know it took a take two.
I guess some Vancouver people are too friendly, for that to actually happen. So
No, but the friendliest people are the scariest, though. They got some good sides on them.
Oh, yeah, sometimes some friendly people can be passive and aggressive.
Yes.
I've known.
Mhm. I agree. So we got our little story or two, huh?
Mm.
Oh, there we go.
Oh my goodness,
Very
that's a
nice.
picture from Boston from last year. Yeah, we had the convention in Boston.
And there's the two
Can't
of us
believe
again.
how 1 year quickly passed, and now we are getting into 2021.
right.
Yeah,
It
so
was so awesome.
fast.
Well, we hope we could have an event or, something up there because it's been a while. I haven't been up there in 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Vancouver. How do you pronounce your last name properly?
Minachi.
Okay, I was kind
Oh,
of close.
you got
Okay.
it.
It's not Minachi or, okay, good.
Oh,
You
anyways,
sound like an Italiano, Minachi.
Italiano or Japanese. Some people tell me, oh,
Oh,
it sounds like
Minachi. Hi,
Japanese.
Minachi.
Oh,
Yeah, you
really?
can say Minachi.
I've
Well,
heard that.
all right, well, Sedi, doesn't matter if you're Iranian, Japanese, or what was the other one? Anyway, Italian. You have a top 5 list on why invest in Vancouver. And when I heard you say that initially, like a few days ago, I'm like, it's going to be kind of boring. You're just going to say it's beautiful here, the people are friendly, and so what, right? But when you gave me the actual items, not that long ago, I was like shocked by some of these things. So let's start it off. Number 1, the interest rate. Now, we all know the interest rate is pretty low in the US, but I hear it's even lower in Canada. Tell us.
Yes, since I believe the shutdown restrictions, the issues caused by COVID-19, the interest rate has gone down, and many people are taking advantage of it. I believe every institution is different, right? But
Yeah.
it's something between 1.16 to 1.60, 1.70.
Holy moly.
Wow.
Pretty low.
Wow.
So
Well,
man.
nice
that's
buy.
and can you do they leverage as much as they do in the US? Can you do it with 10%, 5% down, or is it pretty typical to US?
Here, it's 20% down with this
Okay.
rate. You have to
So
have,
they wanted
even
the more
first
skin
home
in the game.
buyers, they
Okay,
have
I
to have
got you.
20% down.
Okay. All
Okay.
righty.
Yeah. And with that becomes a buyer's market.
That's impossible. I mean, in the United States, it's not even close. It's the complete opposite.
Oh my goodness, yes, yeah. In the past 2 years, I would say it's been buyer's market, especially for condos. There are so many condos up for sale, and
Really?
yeah, and
And
there's
that would make
room.
great kind of overseas investments, right? What about a condo in like Whistler?
Yes,
Maybe?
everywhere in BC, I
Really?
would say, yeah, I would say
Hmm.
it's a great time to purchase, especially a condo. Is a great room for negotiation. You can get a good.
Wow. Did you guys hear that, Aria World in US? You can negotiate buyer's market in Vancouver. That's
With it.
amazing.
Yeah. With an interest rate of 1.16.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. All
That's
right. Well, and that kind of also gives account of even making it better. And that is, tell us a little bit about the currency exchange rate currently.
Yes, that's another reason to have investors from US to purchase a property in Vancouver area, because your exchange rate is still very high. I believe is 1.21 or 1.24, it's something around that. Came a little bit down, but still is a good deal for
Mhm.
people to spend their money in BC.
So has it gotten better? Like say from 5 years ago, is the US dollar buy more in Canada from compared to about 5 years ago? Oh wow.
I think so, yes. Yeah,
Okay, we'll take that as a yes.
good.
Wow. No, I mean,
Yeah.
there's three things right there. I don't even need the next two. I mean,
Maybe
gee,
that's why there's so many going.
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Great infrastructure and setting.
Mhm.
Um, I guess you were supposed to say it, Nari. Sorry, I jumped the gun.
That's
Right.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, in terms of great infrastructure and setting, I would say number one is the transportation, public transportation system. I believe Vancouver has one of the best transit system, easy to go from one location to another location. You don't even have to have a vehicle to live in the city. Myself, as a realtor, if I want to work with buyer or seller, if the person lives near the SkyTerrain, I take the SkyTerrain. I don't have to drive. And the
Ooh,
city,
SkyTrain. Fancy.
SkyTerrain, oh my gosh, it's one of the best. I love the SkyTerrain. I use it all the time,
So
especially going to downtown Vancouver. You don't need to take your car.
And
wow.
it's not like people who take public transportation in Canada take it because they can't afford a car. They take it because it's more convenient, right?
Exactly,
In the
right.
US, it kind of seems like sometimes it's more of a class war where you've got people that can't afford to buy a car, you know, go maybe take public
Mm.
transportation. Not always the case, but that seems like, so when I was in Vancouver, Canada, I was surprised to see, you know, whoever was out in the street or walking around or at whatever was the same people that were in the buses and things, and it wasn't like anything, that you wouldn't be proud of going, just like I guess Japan. So, oh, that's pretty
Mhm.
amazing. Well, and
Yeah.
the setting is pretty amazing.
Well, the
Although,
pollution is less too.
Exactly, that's another thing I was going to
Yeah.
point out. Pollution, yes, it's a very clean city. You don't feel the pollution at all year long. I lived in Toronto. Even when I lived in Toronto, earlier in the morning when I left home, I could feel the pollution. Whereas in Vancouver, anytime during the day or
wow.
evening,
Well, when we have
feel
the
that.
Toronto chapter come up, they're going to have to explain, all the cigars that they've been smoking there or something. All right. Well, I mean, and this is what makes Vancouver, I think, amazing is, earlier story that I shared was it is so amazingly friendly. And, it's such a great, diverse, it's kind of like being in Washington, D.C. or in California, but it is an amazing,
Mhm.
friendly and diverse place.
It is, yes, yeah. Yeah, friendliness is another thing in here. When I moved in here in 1995, the,
Mhm.
the first friendly, symbol I found is drivers. Drivers are so friendly. You don't see, I shouldn't stereotype, but in my experience, when I first moved in here, I noticed how as soon as the drivers they saw a pedestrian, they stopped. Even if the pedestrian was doing jaywalking or doing something that they shouldn't have done, drivers stop and they don't honk here.
Where do you think that comes from? I mean, it's because you're a diverse country. It's not like just one group. Is it just, I mean, why do you think it is? Is it the leadership or?
I don't know. It's just the city is beautiful, and you see the view everywhere you go. I think that makes people very relaxed and casual. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with nature. Many people.
Maybe they put something in the water or something.
Maybe.
Maybe a little bit of
Maybe there is some
Prozac in the water.
Everyone's all chilling.
They got their own Kool-Aid there. So.
Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you. But that is amazing that the interest rates are super low and that it's a buyer's market and the exchange rate is favorable. I mean, I really didn't realize that. So that is awesome. Well, of course, we wouldn't have the most recent Escrow Tuesday shows without quizzing our guest.
Yep.
I think we've kind of made it a little easy. I hope you can see me on this. I've been to Vancouver and it is amazing. Although I'm telling you, Sedi, the parking fees at these places to visit, a little high, I mean, it's beautiful. I understand that, but anyway, it's small nitpicking. Okay, what is this attraction?
Oh my goodness, that's a beautiful attraction in Vancouver, Chinatown.
Wow.
I believe it's called Dr. Song Garden. I've been there a few times.
Yeah, and there is a large, large population, and I don't know if it's probably mainly Chinese or Taiwanese or maybe from Hong Kong, but yeah, it got an amazing Asian friendly kind of area. Well, I mean, they're all Asian friendly, but it's got an amazing Chinatown there. Okay, this was one of my favorites.
Yes, that's the Gastown. Gastown is the kind of center of
the hip kind of part, right? Hang on. But what is this? Exactly. What is this in particular?
Yeah, that's the steam clock. It's been there for, I can't remember which year, but maybe almost 100 years.
Right. Yeah, I remember that was on my list. I got to see. So yeah, you've got to check this out. It's really cool. It's a great part of town. And, you probably open it up and it's all electronics, but anyway, it looks like it's done by steam. So it's pretty cool. Right. All right. This is one of my favorite places in Vancouver.
Is that the Stanley Park area?
Kind of. Yes, I know that's an area. That's the Granville Market, right?
Oh, Granville Market. Yes. Yeah.
That's the best fish and chips. They use halibut. It is amazing. The food there. You walk in and the vegetables and the fruits are just laid out like perfectly. That is one amazing marketplace to go to. Okay, you were mentioning something about this.
This is my favorite.
Is that a little scary to be on the thing when you're up there like this? Whew.
That looks like a roller coaster to me.
Yeah.
But even when you are on it, you won't notice any scariness.
All right. I know there's some amazing ski resorts in Vancouver, but I can't remember which one this one is. But you got Whistler and you got all those places, world class, right?
Yeah.
You ski?
Right. Yes. People drive to go to. I used to, but not anymore. But Whistler is about 2 hours drive from here. But many people, they don't have to drive to Whistler. They just go to Grouse Mountain, which is like from downtown Vancouver.
That actually might be it. Yeah, I think that is actually right. That might be it. Okay, here's another.
We have Cypress ski.
Oh, I see. Yes. Well, this one here, of course, and that was, I think, the number one. If you had to pick one destination place, and it is beautiful. I mean, it's just an amazing. And you could drive through it, you can walk it. I noticed kind of like Seattle when the weather is, bright and sunny. There's, people go crazy just doing outdoor activities, So yeah, that's a wonderful place to go to. I don't think I made it to this place.
What is this? I don't know. Let me.
It's some sort of museum, I think. Technology museum or
Okay.
something, or history. But
Yeah.
it's amazing architecture where they I think they kind of took some keys from Asian and, Native Americans. Because I know there's a large Native American presence in Vancouver, and you could see it in the artistry and in a lot of the architecture. It's amazing. I mean,
is that an anthropology museum at
yes, that's it.
UBC?
That's it. That's it. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yes.
Right. And then you have, of course,
Anthropology.
beautiful view, across. I don't know if that's the key quay, but that is just some amazing scenes across from, the rivers. And then this is my favorite place. Well, not my favorite, but kind of an interesting, challenging place to be at.
Challenging is the word.
Capilano Suspension Bridge.
Right. And literally, Narhee, you're on it. I mean, you're rocking and rolling. And I mean, it's like, whoa. Yeah. And I think it's like $70 to walk on it too. You guys charge us so much. No, it's not that much, but it is a really cool place. Doesn't do it now. It's pretty cool. I mean, all the attractions are clean. There's plenty of parking. I mean, you guys just do it right here. All right. Well, thank you so much for, familiarizing us with Vancouver. I can't wait to visit it again. And upcoming on Escrow Tuesdays, episode 20, I believe, and 21, we have Samantha Tove. She is the Northwest regional rep who would be working with you this year in 2021, Sedi. And then we have Elena Lau, who is our CDC chair, the Boston chapter president, who is amazing. And that leads us up to the leadership summit that we will be having near the end of January. If you're, Sedi, if you're watching your own episode again or clicking around, don't forget to hit subscribe on our YouTube channel, and don't miss out. Every Tuesday is on Facebook Live here. And we do want to wish everybody here watching
Merry Christmas.
Very Merry Christmas. You guys have Christmas in Vancouver, right, Sedi?
Yes, we do. Yeah, but this year everyone has to have his own Christmas at home.
Yeah, that's
but Zoom.
So how is
Zoom
it?
Meeting is easy.
How is it in Vancouver? Is it or in California, we're locked down pretty good. So, I don't know how you describe it in Vancouver.
You guys have curfews. I mean,
we don't have curfews, but the BC Health Ministry advised people not to have Christmas gathering.
Right.
Not 6 people in a household, and they want others. But I heard in Toronto, in Ontario, things are getting worse, and they're going to have a complete shutdown from, I believe, Boxing Day. Boxing Day is the day after Christmas Day.
Okay.
But Vancouver hasn't got to that stage. It's just everywhere is open. But churches are shut down. Churches ceremonies are online, and
but you could go to a bar, right?
Ribs.
Okay, hey, just throwing it out there. Well, Sedi, thank you so much. We've actually now had 2 people. We had Tina Mack earlier in our episode run, but we're so happy that you were able to join us, and we just like to highlight, up and coming leaders of AREA. And so thank you so much for joining us on Escrow Tuesdays.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Is there any events coming up that AREA Vancouver's having? Maybe an event? Maybe? Like an event that you could share in the future, Sedi?
Not yet. We're going to, organize our planning. Once we have the planning for 2021, I will send it to Samantha, and also I'm sure everyone else
Okay,
will
all right.
know
Well,
about it.
we'll look out for
Sometimes,
it.
you know, we organize something within a short notice. You know what I mean? Some events
Sure.
just we don't plan way ahead.
Just
Comes up.
get it out there and get it out on the virtual world. But we really appreciate it. Well, thank you again,
Exactly,
Sedi
yeah.
Minachi
We
from.
are an easygoing crowd.
Okay. Well, you
We are
guys.
an easygoing crowd. I just want to
Indeed, right? All right. Well, Sedi Minachi, president of OREO Vancouver chapter, thank you for joining us on Escrow Tuesdays live here on Facebook. My name is Charles Swanberg with Caimeiju Realty, and I'm also the National Secretary for 2021 for OREO. And below is my co-host, Narhee. And you are?
Oh, Southwest Regional Rep and the incoming VP for Tri-County.
All right. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful Merry Christmas week, and we will join you guys next week.
Bye. Have a safe one.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy
Merry
holidays,
Christmas.
everyone. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.